Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Kemet Maasai Academy. Welcome especially to our PEP students who sat their PEP performance test yesterday and today. So I would really love to hear from those PEP students to see what was it like, right, going into the exams. I know we've been doing a lot of work with the PEP scholars over the past weeks, preparing for the ability test, preparing for the performance task. And so now, with that behind us, we're going to be focusing on the curriculum based tests in the four subject areas. So let's say starting Monday, that's going to be our focus, right? We're going to sharpen our skills in the curriculum based tests in mathematics, language arts, science, and social studies. For today, we're going to continue with our critical thinking skills, worded problems. All right, so that's what we're going to be doing this evening. That's problem solving. So far, I have Amari with me in studio. Bearing in mind those who are joining us on Facebook, on YouTube. Good night, Amari. If you want to join me in studio, all you have to do is follow the link that I have posted. Just follow that link and you'll be able to join me. All right, so welcome, Amari.
Good night, miss.
Good night, sir, and thank you for joining me. All right, so in a minute, I'm going to share my screen so we can start looking at the questions for this evening. All right, so that's PEP critical thinking skills. Coleman, it doesn't seem as if your device is connected. Could you double check for me? I'm trying to add you, but it's not allowing me to. Coleman, can you double check that your device is connected, please? In the meantime, Amari, I'm going to ask you to read question 1.
Okay, miss.
Hold on a second. Just a second. All right. You can go ahead, Amari.
Okay, miss. Number 1. Barrington notices that after every 3 days, there are 4 new buds on his potted plant. If there are 20 buds now, how many buds will there be in all in 9 more days? Number 1. Barrington notices that after every 3 days, there are new there are 4 new buds on his potted plant. If there are 20 buds now, how many buds will there be in all in 9 more days?
Okay. How do we approach this, Amari?
So would Miss you would find how many days are in the 20 buds, Miss.
How many days are in the 20 buds?
Sorry, Miss, how many days make up the 20 buds, Miss?
Well, why would you need to do that?
Miss, to find out how many days you're going to add to it.
But it says there are 20 buds right now. So that means you're starting with 20 buds. Does it matter how and when those 20 got there? That's what you have already. You're starting with 20, right?
Yes, Miss.
So what we're concerned with now is how many will there be in 9 days?
Miss, it would be 20. Hold on. It would be
So
so Miss you
remember,
would say
go ahead.
Miss you would say 20 Miss 9 times. Miss you would say 9. Miss, you're gonna find out how many buds are in 9 days, Miss. And then
How would you do that?
Miss, you would say 20. Miss, not 20. 9 times the 4, Miss.
Read the question one more time. Good night, Miss Reed.
Number 1.
Read it.
Barrington notices that after every 3 days, there are 4 new buds on his potted plant. If there are 20 buds now, how many buds will there be in all in 9 more days?
Again.
Number 1. Barrington notices that after every 3 days there are new buds on his potted plant. If
There are 4 new buds.
there are 4 new buds on his potted plant. If there are 20 buds now, how many buds will there be in all in 9 more days? So
So
Miss, every
every
three
three
days,
days there are 4 new buds.
so Miss, you would say the 3 plus Miss, you'd count from 20, Miss, you would start from 20 and then add it to 3 9 times, Miss.
Add 3 to it 9 times.
Miss,
Are there 3 buds every day for 9 days? If there were 3 buds each day and then 9 days passed, then we would say we would add 3 buds 9 times to
so
the
Miss,
20. But they're not
would
three
be
buds every day. There are 3 buds every there are 4 buds every 3 days. So if 9 days are going to pass, right?
yes, Miss.
And every 3 days out of those 9 days, every 3 days, there are 4 new buds. How many new buds would there be after the 9 days?
Miss, would you add 4, Miss, you'd say 4 times 9, then Miss, would you add it to the 20,
But
Miss?
why would you say 4 times 9? It's not every day you have 4 new buds. It's every 3 days you have 4 new buds. So you need to find out how many 3 days are there in 9 days. That's the first thing. How many groups
Miss,
of 3 days?
3,
And how did you get 3?
Miss, because I said the 9 divided by 3, Miss.
Okay. So there are 3 sets of 3 day periods in the 9 days, right?
Yes, Miss.
And for each of those sets, 4 buds each time. So how many new buds in the 9 days? Good night, Kadisha. Odelea, welcome. So let's work together, scholars, to solve this problem, this worded problem. Every 3 days, there are 4 new buds, and 9 days are going to pass. How many new buds are there in the 9 days? That's the first thing we need to find out.
Can you repeat that, please, Miss?
Every 3 days, there are 4 new buds. And we said that there are three days periods in the 9 days. So after the first 3 days, there are 4 new buds. Then the next 3 days, there are 4 more new buds. Then the next 3 days out of the 9 days, there are 4 more new buds. Am I correct?
So Miss, you're saying you're going to say 4 times 3, Miss?
Mm-hmm.
And then, Miss, would you add it to the 20 buds, Miss?
That's what I would do.
So, Miss, that would be 32 buds.
That's correct. So Karim just came in with his answer 32 buds, right? And that is correct. So the 20 buds to begin with, we don't have to multiply that by anything. That's what we're starting with. It doesn't matter to us for this problem how long it took for those 20 buds to get there. We just know we're starting with the 20, right? Right now, we're saying Barrington has noticed every 3 days there are 4 new buds. So in 9 days, there are going to be three-day periods. There are three threes in 9. So first thing we do, divide 9 by 3, and we get 3. And now we need to multiply that by 4 because every 3 days there are 4 buds. So that's 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. And now we add the 12 to the original 20 buds. Miss Reed is saying she had the answer, but she didn't want to say it. Miss Reed, you have to build your confidence, right? You have to build your confidence. So the answer is 32. All right, Odelea we seem to have lost him. So Amari, you'll read question 2 as well.
Okay, Miss. Number 2. A carpenter needs 40 feet of lumber to frame the outer edge of a shed. Lumber is sold in slabs of 5 feet and the cost is $38.90 per slab. How much money will the carpenter have to pay for the lumber that he needs? Number 2. A carpenter needs 40 feet of lumber to frame the outer edge of a shed. Lumber is sold in and
Slab.
slabs of 5 feet, and the cost is $38.90 cents per slab. How much money will the carpenter have to pay for the lumber that he needs? So, Miss, would you say the $38.90 times 5, Miss?
Why would you multiply it by 5?
Miss, because every slab is 300 $38.90, Miss, and it says that the lumber is sold in slabs of 5 feet.
Yeah, so the lumber is sold in slabs of 5 feet. Do you need 5 slabs?
Oh,
If you're
alright.
multiplying the price by 5, it means you're buying 5 sheets, right? 5 slabs. Is it 5 slabs that you need?
No, Miss.
All right, so Karim gave the wrong answer and he's taking it back. Okay. All right, Karim, back to the drawing board you go. We first need to determine how
Miss,
many slabs are we going to need. We know the price of each slab. Coleman, it keeps saying that your device is not connected. I'm not sure why.
but Miss, you
How many slabs do we need? That's the first thing we need to find out. We know the price for each slab. Once we find out how many slabs we're going to need, then we can easily work it out because we know the price for each slab. So how do we work out how many slabs we're going to need? Read the question again, Amari.
okay, Miss. Number 2. A carpenter needs 40 feet of lumber to frame the outer edge of a shed. Lumber is sold in slabs of 5 feet and the cost is $38.90 per slab. How much money will the carpenter have to pay for the lumber that he needs? Number 2. A carpenter needs 40 feet of lumber to frame the outer edge of a shed. Lumber is sold in slabs of 5 feet and the cost is $38.90 per slab. How much money will the carpenter have to pay for the lumber that he needs?
All
Miss,
right, so Miss Reed is saying $15.56. Miss, you need to explain to us how you got that answer. Amari?
Miss, would you say 5? Miss, is it 40 divided by 5, Miss?
And why would we divide 40 by 5?
Miss, would that be how you find the amount of slabs?
Because,
Miss, because
so Karim is saying $1,556. How, Karim? What did you do? So Amari, I just want to know why you
oh,
this.
Miss, you didn't hear me?
Why did you divide the 40 by
Miss, I
5?
was, Miss, I was saying, Miss, would it be that because Miss, it says the carpenter needs 40 feet of lumber, and Miss, it also says lumber is sold in slabs of 5 feet. Miss?
Okay, so the total distance around the edge of the shed is 40 feet and each slab is 5 feet. So we need to divide the 40 by 5
And Miss,
to
that would
see
give
how many
8.
slabs.
Miss,
Okay,
that would give 8, Miss, and then would you multiply the $38.90 times the 8, Miss?
yes, that is what I would do. So we now know that we need 8 slabs and we already knew the cost of each slab. So Amari is saying let's multiply the cost of each slab by the number of slabs that we need. So go ahead and do that, Amari. $38.90 times 8. Blue is blue. Hello. Blue is definitely blue,
Miss
isn't it?
three. That's Miss $311.02
20 cents.
and 20 cents.
Remember, dollars and cents, we need two decimal places, right?
Yes, miss.
And that is correct. So we divide, since we're told the distance around the edge, so the perimeter of the shed is 40 feet.
Miss, I was going to say that, but I wasn't sure if I was wrong or right, miss.
All right, so Coleman says he's working on it. All right, so Amari, you're the second person since tonight who has been doubting themselves. Miss Reed said she had the answer and she doubted herself. And you had the answer and you doubted yourself. Welcome, Coleman. So we have to start being more confident. All right, so Kareem says $311.20. All right, Coleman, I am going to need you. And who is this? A? This person just has A. Okay. This is a mysterious student joining us this evening. We have a mystery person among us, and the mystery person is gone. As soon as he or she came, they left. Okay. Coleman, you're not talking to me. Are you there? Coleman.
Miss's mic is on, but we're not hearing him, miss.
Coleman, I think you might have to log off and come back again. Um, Coleman, try logging off, come back. Alana. Alana. What's happening this evening with the mics though? Or meantime, Amari, you're going to have to read for me. So let me switch to
Okay, miss.
question 3, Amari.
My birthday falls on February 24th, which is on Wednesday this year. What
24,
was
February 24.
My birthday falls on February 24th, which is on Wednesday this year. What was the date 3 Tuesdays ago? My birthday falls on February 24th, which is on Wednesday this year. What was the date 3 years ago?
3 years?
Oh, sorry, it's 3 Tuesdays ago. This one it says days. This one it says Tuesdays.
Hmm?
Miss, wouldn't it be back this? Miss, wouldn't it be the same date?
It's asking you for 3 Tuesdays ago.
Yes, Miss, but it's asking what date it was. But Miss, wouldn't it still be the same February 24th?
What date was it 3 Tuesdays ago?
Oh, I get it. I get it. Miss, I thought it was saying, Miss, what date was it? The three birthdays ago, 3 Tuesday birthdays ago.
Yes, saying 3 Tuesdays ago. What date was it?
Yes, Miss. So Miss 24. Miss, I got the third. Wait, hold on, Miss. Miss, I think I got Miss. I got 3, Miss. February the 3rd, Miss.
How did you get that?
Oh, don't worry, Miss. Miss, I'm going to calculate it again, Miss. Wednesday, 24. 22nd, 21st, Sunday. Saturday is 20th. Friday is Thursday. Friday is the 20th. Thursday is the 19th. Wednesday is the 18th. Tuesday is the 17th. Monday is the 16th.
We're going back one day at a
Good
time.
night, miss. Every
Good
Sunday
night,
is the
Alana.
15th. Miss, I forgot what. Miss, I think it's easier if I do something else, Miss. But
Yeah, I'm thinking. So it's exactly 3 weeks back would be the Wednesday, right? So find what date the Wednesday is exactly 3 weeks back, and then the Tuesday is the day before that. So if it's the 24th, Wednesday the 24th, exactly 3 weeks ago was what?
Wednesday the first, miss.
How you get Wednesday the first?
Miss, because I was looking at my calendar and I saw February 24, which is a Friday, and I went to the Tuesday part, and I went three.
No, but you can't use a calendar that has Friday the 24th, and we're saying it's Wednesday the 24th. You're gonna get a different day, Alana. So I'm saying if we're going back exactly 3 weeks to the Wednesday, 3 Wednesdays ago, how would we find that date?
Subtract it.
Subtract what?
Um, 3 from the 24.
Subtract 3 from 24. How many days make a week?
7.
So exactly 3 weeks ago would have been how many days?
Sorry, miss. I got kicked out.
Okay, Amari.
Miss, would
Exactly
it be
three
the
weeks.
third?
What would be the third?
Miss, the date? February the 3rd.
Which day? Is it the Tuesday or the Wednesday would be the third?
Miss, the Tuesday. Wait. No, miss, the Wednesday would be the 3rd,
The
miss.
Wednesday would be the third. So
And
what
miss,
would
the
the
Tuesday
Tuesday?
would be the 2nd, miss. So it's the 2nd, miss.
That's correct. So the Tuesday would
February the
be
2nd.
the second. So exactly 3 weeks, exactly 21 days back. That Wednesday would be the third. So the Tuesday would be the second. Alana,
Yes, miss.
question 4, please.
Miss, should I go?
Yes, read it twice, please.
Okay, miss. Um, Number 4. My sister Tina is 12 years younger than our cousin Paul. Paul is twice as old as I am. 2 years ago, I celebrated my 14th birthday. How much older than me is Tina? Question 4. My sister Tina is 12 years younger than our cousin Paul. Paul is twice as old as I am. 2 years ago, I celebrated my 14th birthday. How much older than me is Tina?
Mm-hmm. How much older than me? How much older than me is Tiana?
Miss Sims, 2 years ago, I celebrated my 14th birthday. That means This I'm not sure.
How many years older than I am is Tiana? Karim says 20 is the answer. You're saying Tiana is 20 years older than I am? We have to we have to break this question down into parts, right? One step at a time. Amara, you're saying two?
Miss Coleman was saying that he didn't understand number 3, Miss. I was explaining it to him in the chat, Miss.
Oh, okay.
So, Miss, it says Tiana is 12 years older than the cousin, which is Paul. Paul is twice as old as I. 2 years ago, I celebrated my.
Tiana is
Okay,
12
Miss, I
years
know.
younger than the cousin.
Yes, Miss. So first, Miss, 2 years ago, I celebrated my 14th birthday. So, Miss, that mean that, Miss, you would say the 14, Miss, I am 16, Miss. And then, Miss, it says Miss Paul would be 8. No, sorry, Miss, not 8. Miss Paul would be 16 plus 16, which is 32, Miss, because it says Paul is twice as old as I am.
Mm-hmm.
And then Miss Tiana is 12 years younger than our cousin Paul. So, Miss, that's 32 minus 12, which is 20, Miss. And then, Miss, so how much older than me is Tiana? So, Miss, that would mean that it's 16 minus, Miss, 20 minus 16, Miss, which would it be 4, sorry, 4, Miss. 4, Miss.
That is correct. And Karim has the answer in the chat.
Miss.
4 years old. Yes, Alan.
Okay, Miss. I will say it after a little while of looking at the question and thinking, I would say that I am 16 because if I am 16 and Paul is twice as old as I am, they're gonna add 16 two times and they're gonna get 32. Then since your since your cousin Paul, wait, since Tina is 12 years younger than Paul, they're gonna subtract 12 from the 32, and you're gonna get and you're gonna get 20, and after that, so
Hello, Omar. Welcome. But Alana, Amari has gone through this. Exactly what the steps you're taking. These are the steps Amari just explained.
I was not
So
hearing Miss, what I did, Miss, I read it backwards, Miss. So, Miss, I started where it said, Miss, Miss, for me, I started where it said the first sentence that at the back. It's not the question. It said I celebrated my 14th birthday, Miss. So I started at the last sentence before the question. Then I worked my way up, Miss, because Miss, I
okay.
found that
So
easier.
where it says 2 years ago I celebrated my 14th birthday. So if 2 years ago you were 14, that means this year you are
16.
16. All right. So right. So you started from there. And that's where Alana also started, right? So the same steps Alana was outlaying. That's those are the steps Amari just took us through. So Tiana is 4 years older than I am. Coleman, you with us now? Test out your
Yes,
mic.
yes, miss. I'm here. Are you hearing me?
Yes, can you read question 5, please? Question 5, Coleman.
Your mic is off, Coleman.
Sorry. Question 5. Share 1,200 among Carl, Stacy, and Peter so that Stacy gets 3 times as much as Peter, and Peter gets half the amount as that Carl gets. Question 5. Share $1,200 among Carl, Stacy, and Peter so that Stacy gets 3 times as much as Peter, and Peter gets half the amount that Carl gets.
All right, how about this one? Oh, blue is blue. Your tablet is dying. All right, so you need to go and recharge and come back. How are we going to approach this?
So, Miss, I'm going to try and read it backward and see what I get.
Okay, see if that can help
So,
you. So
what I first need to do is that since Stacy should have 3 times as much as Peter, I multiply divided 1,200 by
Divided by 3.
3. That was my first.
but
That's my
does Peter get 1,200?
no, but uh, 1 second.
Miss,
The
some says
1,200 is the total that must be shared among the 3 persons.
some says that Stacy gets 3 times as much as Peter, and Peter gets half the amount of what Carl gets. Miss would say,
Welcome, Amoy.
Miss, what would you say? Miss, would you say what times 3 gives you 1,200? Miss, wait, no, Mr. Warrens.
You know, a
Miss,
problem like this is going to be a racial problem. Are you aware of that?
Oh, yes.
Based on the problems we've been working so far, anything
I
like this, a good approach is racial.
I still do not understand
You
racial.
could approach it with algebra, you could approach it a couple other ways, but
Ratio is the easiest one.
racial in a case like this.
I haven't learned algebra and I
So
still don't understand
try
ratio.
try to determine who would get the least amount.
Miss, the least amount would be Peter, Miss.
So a
Yes,
good way to approach these questions is once you determine who would get the least amount, let one represent that person in the ratio, right? And
Okay.
then you
yes.
work your way up from there based on what the other persons would get. So let Peter's part in the ratio be 1.
Meaning, Miss, so
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 C would be
um,
one.
C- Carl's part in the ratio would be 2 because Peter gets half as much as Carl,
Okay,
and
and
then
And then
and and
Miss
then
six, Miss.
Stacy's part would be 3 because she gets 3 times as much as Peter.
very good.
Miss,
So read out the ratio to me now.
Miss
Uh,
one. Miss, would it be 3 to 2 to 1?
or
3 to
1 to 2
2
to
to
3. I
1,
don't.
or 1 to 2 to
Two to
3.
three.
Okay. So using
One.
that now that we know the ratio, go ahead and solve the problem. We know the total that is being shared, and we have figured out the ratio 1 to
Mm,
2 to 3.
ah,
Peter would get the 1 part, Carl would get 2 parts, and Stacy would get 3 parts. So determine how much actual money each person would get.
So I think that Stacy would get Stacy. Wait, Stacy. Hold on. Stacy. 1 second.
Miss, can I please use the bathroom?
Sure.
Miss, I'm confused here.
What confuses you, Coleman?
Well, what I think to do would be I don't understand ratio fully yet. So I'm guessing that what you do to find the ratio is divide, but when I
What you
divide,
do first is to add the ratio and then put each person's part of the ratio over the total ratio times the total money. So, for example, Peter's part in the ratio is 1. And when we add the ratio, 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. So Peter's share would be 1 over 6
Miss,
times 1,200.
Miss, I think I got the answer.
All right, go ahead.
Miss, should I say each of them amount, Miss?
Yes, each of them.
Miss Stacy would be $720.
How you got that?
Miss, when you said the ratio was 1 to 2 to 3, Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Miss, I added it up. Miss, I added it up. Miss, and I got 5. Miss,
No,
Miss, and
no.
six,
1 plus
six,
2 plus 3 is not 5.
6. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna do it over again.
Okay, so back to the drawing board.
Miss, can I think what I did?
So Miss,
Yeah.
Miss one ratio is 1 to 2. Miss, could you do it like Miss? Could you add two ratios
We add the ratio 1 plus 2 plus 3,
and you
which is
get
6.
5?
6.
Oh yes, Miss 6.
And put each person's part of the ratio over the total ratio times the total amount of money.
Miss,
For
Wait,
Peter, it's 1 over 6 times 1,002. Yes, go ahead.
can I tell you what I got?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, Miss. So for Peter, I got $200.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Miss, I said so. Peter amount and the ratio would be 1/6 as a fraction, and I times it by 1,200, and I got 200. So Peter would got 200, and for what did you say, Miss? 1 to 2 to
Carl,
3.
yeah.
So for car, Miss, you will get 400 because you would put 2/6 times 1,200, and for Stacy, you would put 3/6 times 1,200, and you get $600.
All right, that is correct. Kareem
Miss,
also
I
had
got
a.
that as well.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes,
So
Miss.
Kareem also
Miss, I
got,
got that as well, Miss.
all right, 600 for Stacy, 200 for for Peter, 400 for Carl. All right, and
To make sure that your
Miss
answer,
Reed
Miss,
also got that answer.
Miss.
Yes.
So to make sure your answer is correct, you add up back all the total and you're supposed to get 1,200.
So when
Miss,
you add the $200 plus $400 plus $600, did you get the original
yes, Miss.
1,200?
Yes, Miss.
All right, so that's how we know that our answer is correct.
Miss, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is this curriculum based practice?
No, it's problem solving, critical thinking. We're going to start the curriculum base on Monday.
Okay, Miss.
All right, Alana, please read question 6.
Okay, Miss.
Go ahead.
Come in, miss. Okay, miss. So number 6. Mrs. Veta is selling mangoes at the I question 6. Mrs. Veta is selling mangoes at the Coronation Market. She had to buy the mangoes from farmer. My, it's
Yeah.
something at home. Leave, leave, boy at $84 per dozen, and she sells them back at $10 each. How much how much total profit does Mrs. Veta makes if she bought and sold for the dozen mangoes? Question 6. Mrs. Veta is selling mangoes at the Coronation Market. She had to buy the mangoes from Farmer Levi at $84 per dozen and sell them back at $10 each. How much total profit does Mrs. Veta make if she bought and sold 4 dozen mangoes back?
Miss,
Yes, go ahead.
Miss, can I tell you my answer?
Sure.
Miss, I got $480.
As her profit.
Yes, Miss.
All right. Explain how that's her profit.
Miss, since it says Miss Farmer Leroy sells 84 um 1 dozen mangoes for $84, Miss I multiplied Miss the 84 times the 12, Miss.
Mm-hmm. 84 by 12. Why?
Miss, because in 1 dozen, Miss, it's 12.
But this is per dozen. So it's $84 per dozen for the 12. So you would need to multiply the 84 by 12. Again, the $84 is for the 12. It's not for one.
So when you multiply that, don't you get 1008?
Multiply what?
Multiply the 84 by 12.
I'm saying you don't need to. The $84 is not for one and then she buying 12. $84 is for the 12. It's per dozen.
Miss, so the 84 would be multiplied by the 12?
No, it's not $84 for each mango. It's $84 per dozen. $84
Oh,
for the 12 mangoes.
so miss, you would say 84 times 48 because 4 dozen is 48, and you'll get
Hold on.
4,032.
Hold on. The $84 is the dozen price. So if she's buying 4 dozen, it's $84 per dozen. So you wouldn't need to multiply 84 by 48. Kareem, how did you get $365 profit? Or what did you say? $36 profit? Explain, please. The $84 is for 12 of them per dozen. The $10 is for each one. So there are two different categories of prices here. One price is given per dozen, another price is given each per one.
Miss, I think you would divide the 84 by 10.
By 10.
Yes, miss, because
Why
it's
would you?
$10. It's $10 each, and she bought them for $84.
So the 84 is the buying price. The and that's per dozen.
Yes,
The
miss.
$10 each is the single price, the unit price, and that's what she's selling it back for. She's buying it for one price, she's selling it back for another price.
Miss, I found the cost for one mango, miss, for Farmer Leroy is selling, miss. Miss, I got $7 for one mango.
What did you find the price for one mango?
Miss, I divided 12 into the 84 and I got $7.
All right. So you're deciding to work with the unit cost. So you're making sure that they're all in unit costs. So she bought each mango for $7. She sold each mango for $10.
So,
That's a good
miss,
start. So you can work it as the unit prices, or you can convert everything to the dozen price, whichever route you want to take. What do we do after that?
Miss, you
What do we
find
do?
how many mangoes are 4 dozen?
All right. How many mangoes are 4 dozen?
Miss, it's 12 times 4, which is 48, miss.
All right. So where do we go from there?
Miss, you multiply it by 10.
Multiply what by 10?
Miss, the 48.
And you would get what?
480, miss.
Miss, you know that I got that answer?
So where do we go from there?
Miss, you would divide the $7 into the 480.
What do we really want to find, right? What do we really want to find?
Miss, the total profit.
The profit. What is profit?
Miss, the money that she made.
The extra money that she made, right? The extra. It's the difference between what she bought it for and what she sold it for. Okay? Her profit is going to be the extra money she makes. So it's the difference between what she bought it for and what she sold it for. So like I said, you can work it as unit price, the cost per one, or you can work it as the per dozen price. Whichever way you work it, you will end up with the same answer. So
Miss,
here
I
we have
think
decided
got
to
it.
use the unit price, which is she bought it for $7, she sold it for $10 each, and she bought 4 dozen.
Miss,
So we
would you miss the total that she made, miss, the 480, miss, would you subtract it from the $84 and get $396 in
we
total?
wouldn't subtract it from $84 because we're working with the unit costs. Once we divided the 84 by 12 and got 7, that's the unit cost we're now working with per mango. If you were going to work with the $84, then you would have to multiply the 10 by 12 to get the dozen price, which would be $120. So it's either you're working with the $7 and the $10, or the $84 and the $120, the unit costs or the dozen costs. So we had decided to go with the unit cost. We divided the 84 by 12. We got 7. She bought each mango for $7. She sold each mango for $10. So we multiplied each of those by the 48 because it's 4 dozen of them. So 7 times 48 gave us what? 480? No, 7 times 48 gave us the 336. And
Yes,
10 times 48 gave us the 480. So
yes,
I'm
miss.
saying the profit is the difference between those two numbers.
Also, Miss 480 minus the 336, Miss.
Yes.
Miss, when I do that, I get 4, 1. No, hold on. 1, 4. Miss 114. Sorry,
Miss
Miss
144,
144. Miss 144.
$144. That's right.
$44.
Yes. And if we had decided to work it using the dozen price, so we would multiply the 84 by 4 because it's 4 dozen. And we would multiply the 120 by 4. We would still end up with the 480 minus 336. So the profit is $144. That's the extra money that Mrs. Vita made. Amoy,
Yes, Miss.
please read
Quest-
question 7.
Okay, Miss. Question 7. The long hand of a circular clock is 8 centimeters long. What distance does the clock hand travel from 2 p.m. to 5:30 p.m.? The long hand of a circular clock is 8 centimeters long. What distance does the long hand travel from 2 o'clock p.m. to 5:30 p.m.?
Okay, how do we work out that distance?
Miss, you probably have Miss. You're going to have to find the hours between the hours I miss between 2 and 5:30.
Mm-hmm. So from 2 p.m. and we're focusing on the long hand. So where is the long hand at 2 p.m.? Where is the long hand when it is 2 p.m.?
Miss,
Where is the long hand at 2 p.m.? Which number is the long hand at?
the long hand would be Miss 2 o'clock. Miss
On which number is the long hand at 2 p.m.?
Miss, the long hand would be at
Miss 10.
the 12, Miss.
It's
12,
on
Miss.
the 12, right?
Yes, Miss.
And on which number is the long hand at 5:30?
Miss, it's at the 6.
So on the 6. All right. So how many full revolutions does the long hand travel from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m.?
5:30, Miss.
To 5 p.m. first before we do the 5:30. How many full revolutions does the long hand travel from 2 p.m. to 5?
3.
3. And then it will be half of a revolution to get back down to 5:30. Do you agree?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, please. So it would be
Miss
340
So it
minutes.
has gone around the circle 3.5 times. Do you agree?
Yes, Miss.
Miss, I got 28 centimeters long.
How did you get 28 centimeters?
Miss, from the 3 hours and 30 minutes, Miss, and it said the long hand of a circular clock is 8 centimeters long, Miss. What
Mhm.
distance does the long hand travel from 2, Miss? Miss, so from 2 to Miss 3, the long hand would go around, Miss, so that would be 8.
The long hand in traveling around the circle, the long hand is 8 centimeters, but it doesn't cover just 8 centimeters in going all the way around the circle. What the long hand is actually doing is covering the circumference of the circle. Each time it goes a full distance around from the 12 back to the 12, it is covering the circumference of the circle. So, for those who have done circumference, how do we work out the circumference of the circle? What is the formula? for those in grade 5, 6, those who have done circumference, what's the formula for working out the circumference? If you think of the hand of the clock, the long hand, when it moves from the 12, so imagine it is at 2 o'clock. If it's moving from the 12 and going back all the way around to the 12 and it's now at 3 o'clock, it has made a full revolution, and that is actually, it has covered the circumference of the circle, the total distance around the circle. And we just said that if the long hand is traveling from 2 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., it has covered the circumference 3.5 times. 3 full times plus a half to get it back to 5:30. So what we really need to do here is to find the circumference of the circle, which is 1 full revolution, and then we would just need to multiply that by 3.5. Since it has gone round it 3.5 times to get from 2 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. The formula for the circumference, as Kareem has posted, is 2 times pi times the radius. And Miss Reed also posted that 2 times pi times the radius. So the long hand can represent can represent the radius, because it runs from the center to just about touching the circumference. So we could use the 8 centimeters as the radius, plug in those figures. So it's 2 times 8 centimeters times pi, and pi is 3.14 or 22/7. That will give us the circumference, and then we're going to need to multiply that by 3.5 or 3.5, because from 2 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. is 3.5 revolutions. So plug in those numbers, write those in your book. 8, which is the radius, the long hand, times 22/7 times 2 times 3.5. Work that out for me. You can work it in decimal form or in fraction form, whichever you find easier. So you can work pi as 22/7 if you choose to use the fraction. You can work pi as 3.14 if you prefer to go the decimal root. So 8 times 3.14 times 2 times 3.5, 3.5. All right, so let's see some answers. Everybody worked that out. I was hoping to see some of the PEP students this evening. I guess they all went home to rest after their mathematics performance task today. I was really looking forward to talking to some of the PEP students to
Miss,
find.
I
I
got
did PEP today.
Pardon me?
Miss, I did PEP today as well,
Oh,
Miss.
you're one of the peppers. Okay, how was it today?
Miss, it was good.
And yesterday, so you had your language arts performance task yesterday and the mathematics today. Did you find it challenging at all?
Miss, some questions in the math.
Mm-hmm.
Miss,
Were
were
a bit
challenging for me.
challenging.
Yes, Miss. Miss, what the language arts, Miss, it wasn't challenging at all, Miss.
Okay. Did you answer just a minute with the answer? Did you answer all the questions?
Yes, Miss.
All right. So that's very important. In an exam, you attempt all the questions and you read carefully. Don't leave any stone unturned. All right, so I'm happy to hear that it was manageable. So we're looking forward now to the curriculum-based tests, and we're going to be plowing through some practice questions from now, or should I say from Monday, straight down to the curriculum-based tests. Right? Good night, Shana K. Welcome if it's your first time. Okay, so Sandra is saying she's also a PEP student. So Sandra, tell us how was the performance task for the math and the English? Okay, so anybody got the answers yet for this working
Yes,
out?
miss, I was saying that I got the answer,
All
miss.
right, Amari,
I
go
have
ahead.
the answer to miss.
All
Miss,
right,
I
each person
got
can tell me. Amari, what was
Miss,
your
I
answer?
worked it as a fraction, miss. And then,
Mm-hmm.
miss, when I got my answer, I divided it. So, miss, I said 8 over 1 times 22 over 7 times 2 over 1, miss. And then, miss, when I multiply 8 times 22 times 2, miss, I got 352 over the 7, miss. And then, miss, I divided that and I got 50.285, miss.
Did you multiply by the 3.5?
Oh,
Remember, the longhand is going around 3.5 times from 2 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Coleman, what did you get?
Miss,
Coleman,
I got 5,024.
that sounds like you didn't divide by something. So it's 8 times pi, whether you're using pi as 3.14 or 22 over 7, times 2 times the 3.5. Shana K, I'm sorry if you can't see the questions properly, but that's as bold as I can make them on my screen. Miss Reed says she got 88. That's not what I got. So make sure you guys are plugging in the right things. So 8 is the radius. That's the long hand of the clock. We could safely use that as the radius of the circle. It's a circular clock, right? So 8 is the radius. So it's 8 times 3.14 or 8 times 22 over 7 times 2 times the 3.5. And why we say 3.5? If the long hand is going from 2 o'clock all the way to 3 o'clock, all the way to 4 o'clock, all the way to 5 o'clock, then down to 5:30, that's 3.5 revolutions, right? That's why we're also multiplying it by the 3.5. Odelia,
Yes, miss.
please read question 8.
Number 8.
Oh,
Which is it?
sorry, just a minute. I didn't give the answer. The answer is 175.84. All right, go ahead, Odelia.
Okay, number 8. Which is a better deal if I want to buy exercise books for back to school? All the books are the same size and quality. Number 8. Which is a better deal if I want to buy exercise books for back to school? All the books are the same size and quantity. A. One book for $46. B. Three books for $135. C. Half a dozen books for $240. Or D. One dozen books for $360.
How many times you read it?
I read the question twice, miss, and the options once,
Read
miss.
the options again, please.
The options are A. One book for $46. B. Three books for $135. C. Half a dozen books for $240. And D. One dozen books for $360.
All right, what's the better deal or the best deal here? We have four
Miss,
options. Yes,
Miss,
Miss,
go ahead.
Miss, Miss, I have an idea of how I could do this, Miss, but I don't have my answer yet,
All right,
Miss.
but how would you approach it?
So first, Miss, for B, it said 3 books is for $135. Therefore, if you want to find out how much one book is for, you have to divide $135 into three.
By 3.
Yeah, by three,
Okay.
and then you get your answer. And for C, it said half a dozen books is for $240. I know half a dozen is 6, so you divide 6 by 240, then you get your
Two,
answer.
240 by 6.
Yes, Miss.
So you would say it's either you're going to say divide 240 by 6 or divide 6 into 240. So be
Okay.
careful with your language. And what would you do for D?
So it said 1 dozen books is for $360. I know 1 dozen is for 12, so you would divide 12 into $360 to get your answer for one
All
book.
right, very good. So that's a good approach.
Miss,
So work them out, yes. Go ahead.
Miss, I think I got my answer.
All right, what is your answer, Alana?
Miss, not Alana, Miss, it's Amoy.
Amoy, sorry.
Miss, I would say D, Miss. Miss, and I divided the 12 into the $360. Miss, I got $30 for one
Mm-hmm.
book.
Mm-hmm. And what you got for the others?
Miss, and for the half a dozen, Miss, I got $40 for one book, Miss. Miss, and for the 3 books, Miss, for one, Miss, I got $45.
Okay. So when you compare them, you're saying the 1 dozen books for 360 is the best deal because that works out to be $30 per book. All right, and that is correct. Amoy, that is correct. So we really, before we can compare them, we can't just look and say, the one they look cheaper or the one. No, we have to put them in the same unit first. We have to compare them on level ground. So we work out the cost for one book. For all of them, we find out what's the cost for one. If I'm buying 3 for 135, how much am I paying for one? If I'm buying half a dozen or 6 for $240, how much am I really paying for one book? If I'm buying 1 dozen of them, 12 of them for 360, how much am I paying for one? So when we reduce them all to the unit price, the cost of one, then we can compare them. So the first one is actually the most expensive. If we just buy one for $46, that's the most expensive one. B is works out to $45, C works out to $40, and D works out to $30. So if we buy the 12 at that cost, even though the money look bigger for the 12, the $360 looks bigger than the other amounts up there, but the unit cost is cheaper for each one. All right, so
Miss
thank you for
Miss,
those who, yes, go ahead.
Miss, as I saw the question, I eliminated C, Miss.
Why did you eliminate C?
Miss, because Miss, so it said Miss for D, it says 1 dozen books for 360, 360, Miss. And then Miss, if I add it, Miss, if I say 240 times the 2, Miss, I get more than 360.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Miss,
Okay, I see what Amari is saying. He's saying he's looking at the 1 dozen for 360 and he knows that, and if half a dozen is for 240, so he quickly multiplied the 240 by 2 because 1 dozen is twice the half a dozen, and that's 480. So he knew that one couldn't be the cheapest, right? Because already it gone over the price of the 1 dozen for 360.
Miss, that
So
would just be a
yeah, so
that would just be a
immediately
rip-off, Miss, because
that
it says all the books are the same size and same quality, Miss.
right. So we're assuming these are the same books, same type of books, right? all things being equal, all things being equal. That's how we are able to compare things when it's a level playing field, all other factors being equal. And that's why we had to first reduce them to the unit price, make everybody be in the unit price so we can compare them. You can't just look and say, oh, that one they look cheaper, that one they look more. You can't do it like that because you might be deceived. When you break it down to the unit price now, you can say, oh, yes, this is how much for one, this is how much for one, this is how much for one, and then you make the comparisons. We have 2 questions to go. Amari, I'm going to ask you to read the next question. Question 9.
Okay, miss. Number 9. Joe left his house at 6:35 a.m. and walked 3 miles to the city center and back home. Every half a mile he checked his watch and found that 24 minutes had passed. At what time did he get back home? Number 9. Joe left his house at 6:35 a.m. and walked 3 miles to the city center and back home. Every half hour, a mile, he checked his watch and found that 24 minutes had passed. At what time did he get back home? So Missy left his house at 6:35 a.m. and says that Missy said that he walked 3 miles to the city and back home. Miss, would it mean that the 3 miles Missy walked for 3 miles he walked to the city and also back home, Miss? So the 3 miles is for the city and back home.
3 miles to the city, 3 miles back home.
Okay, Miss. So Miss, in all he traveled 6 miles, and Miss, you would say 24 divided by the 6, Miss.
24 divided by 6.
Yes, Miss. Miss, because
Every half a mile, 24 minutes pass. Every half of a mile. He traveled 6 miles, and every half of a mile, 24 minutes
oh,
pass.
okay. So
Miss,
Miss,
did he
that would
get home back at 7:47 a.m.?
How did you get that?
Miss, 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 what I did, Miss is alright, 24, Miss, 2 times, Miss, since it said, Miss, he checked his watch for every half a mile, Miss, 24 and 20, Miss, I made that be 1 mile, Miss, and I added it up, Miss, until I got the 6 miles, Miss, because to the center and back home, Miss, that would be 6 miles in total.
6 miles in total, but every half of a mile, 24 minutes pass. 24 more minutes has passed.
So Miss, would you say a half? Miss, would you say a half times the 24 then? Miss?
No, we need to find out how many half miles are in the 6 miles.
Oh, okay,
It's the
Miss.
first thing.
So Miss, it would be a half. Miss, I'm just going to calculate it now.
How many
Um,
half miles are there in the 6 miles?
Miss, so it would be. It's 5. Wait, hold on. It's 5.5.
Need to give my feet a break. But I'll skip
How
off
many
to my
half
feet.
miles are in 1 mile?
Miss 2, Miss. Oh, so
Okay.
Miss, it would be
How many half miles are in 6 miles?
4. Miss 4.5.
If there are 2 half miles in 1 mile,
Yes, Miss.
how many half miles in 6 miles? How many half miles in two
Miss, I'm
miles?
working it up. 4.5 miles. Five.
Miss 4 half miles in 2 miles.
How many half miles in 6 miles?
Miss
12 half miles, miss.
Okay. So there are 12 half miles in 6 miles. And every half mile
Miss
that he
12.
went, 24 hours, 24 minutes passed. So what's the total time that he took for the 6 miles?
Miss, he took 20. So Miss, that would be 24 times the 6, Miss.
No. We just said
Oh, Miss, the
Coleman just said there are 12 half miles in the 6 miles. And for every half mile that he traveled, 24 minutes passed.
so
So
Miss,
how
it would be
many
12
total
times.
minutes
Miss, it
passed?
would be 12 times the Miss 12 times the 24, Miss.
Okay. So
Miss,
12
when I
times
do
the
that, I get
24.
288, Miss.
So now we need to convert the
Miss, I
288
got
minutes,
Miss, I got 288.
and those are minutes. Convert those to hours, please. Okay, so Lisa got 288 minutes. Okay, Miss Reed, you are excused. So let's see how many hours and minutes. 288 minutes. How many hours and minutes is that?
Miss, I'm calculating it still. Okay, Miss, so one. Miss, I'm still working this out. 180 plus 60. Okay, Miss, so this is 2, Miss 2:14 minutes. Miss 2 hours and 40 seconds. So Miss,
How many 60 minutes are in
how many
288?
60? Miss, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
In the interest of time, because we have to wrap up, we have one last question. 288 minutes are 4 hours and 48 minutes. 6 4 is 24, that's 240. So he left home at 6:35 a.m. and the total traveling took him 4 hours and 48 minutes. So we just need to add that now. All right, bye, Amoy. See you tomorrow. Oh, you're saying you're going to rejoin. All right. Um, so quickly, so six from 6:35 a.m. and we add 4 hours and 48 minutes. So I got 11:23 a.m. That's what I got. So you can work it out later on, just add the hours and minutes. I have an admin class to go to now. So I'm going to ask Coleman to read the last question and we wrap things up.
Question 10. In the summer, Sharon made lemonade for sale. Each 2-liter jug of lemonade gave her 12 cups for sale. She sold each cup for $22. If she made 8 liters of lemonade and sold them all, how much money did she make from the sale?
Again,
Question 10. In the summer, Sharon made lemonade for sale. Each 2-liter jug of lemonade gave her 12 cups for sale. She sold each cup for $22. If she made eight if she made 8 liters of lemonade and sold them all, how much money did she make in total from the sales?
Miss, would you say the 8 times the 12?
8 times 12.
Wait, no, Miss.
Miss,
Yes, go ahead.
Miss, should she make $1,056, Miss?
That is correct. Tell us how you got that, please.
Miss, well, basically, Miss, since it said that Miss she sold, Miss she had 2 liter jugs, Miss, and she said each of them, Miss, she had 12 cups out of it, Miss. Miss, so I used two, Miss, 2, 4, 6, 8, Miss, on each of the twos, Miss, I put 12, Miss, and when I added up all the twos, Miss, or I could multiply it by 4, I got 48, Miss. Miss, so I multiplied the 48 times the $22, and I got $1,056.
All right. Who is this? Amoy?
Yes, Miss.
All right. That is correct, Amoy. So, like Amoy said, each 2 liter jug gave her 12 cups. So, how many 2 liter jugs could she get out of the 8 liters? 2 into 8, 4. So now we need to multiply the 12 by 4, that's 48 cups in all. And each cup is $22. So 48 times 22, 1,056. So Amoy is absolutely correct. All right, and that's the wrap for this evening. That's the wrap. So I will see you on Monday when we do some curriculum-based tests.
Miss, no class tomorrow on Friday?
You can look out, tomorrow is Friday. You can look out for you guys have your notification bell on so that you're notified each time we go live.
Yes, Miss.
You should, because sometimes I might have something else to do. And if that doesn't go through, then I might still come on. So you really need to keep that bell on just in case we come on, you can know. So it's possible that I might come tomorrow as well. If you don't see me tomorrow, it's definitely Monday. All right, so take care of yourselves.
Bye, Miss.
All right, thank you, and I'll see you.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, everybody.